Back on TYT Sports, there is a very fun and interesting report out of Utah, Francis, where Danny Ainge's son, one of his sons, Tanner Ainge, is a representative there, and he, I guess speaking on, in a way, Utah fans' behalves, sent out a tweet saying, hey, Gordon Hayward, you might go play in Boston, but there's a new millionaire's tax. So if you stay here in Utah, you make a little bit more money.
You know what talks, Jason?
Money. But he's kind of leaving something out. Gordon Hayward's gonna go to the Celtics.
Yep.
I think the Vegas odds are like worse than Mayweather winning. Seriously, it's like minus 50,000. I'd be really surprised if Gordon Hayward signs anywhere else. Additionally, because he's reuniting with his old coach in college, in Brad Stevens, and it makes sense. Also, it kind of puts things, pieces start to fit together. And we know Danny Ainge ain't gonna trade anything. Danny Ainge could be like, hey man, they added an NBA third round. You have 1,000 picks. We want one of the third round picks, AKA players who will never make it to the NBA. Will you trade one of those third round picks for LeBron James? No man, you don't know who you can get in that third round. We need to keep this pick. We need to keep this pick forever. So Tanner Ainge sends out these two tweets, which I thought were pretty funny. And then there's also the addition that it's also brother on brother crime.
Yeah, that's what's funny.
Danny Ainge's other son works for the Celtics. So here's tweets number 4, elements number 4 and 5 back to back have the two tweets that Tanner Ainge sent out. First is a little picture of the Massachusetts legislator, or I should say at least the, was that the House of Representatives? Before I make myself into a complete
It looks like
idiot.
it's the Senate floor or House, I don't know.
Thank you, Francis.
Let's see.
I'm just a good American, know how laws are made, I'm sure. But they passed the millionaire's tax, which of course is gonna affect some of the players who play in Massachusetts. And we'll get on more about that in just a second because Brian Windhorst from ESPN made a really good point. And then he followed up with this tweet. Campaign is about economic growth, innovation, and fiscal responsibility, but Twitter only talking about Gordon Hayward. Look man, anybody who uses the crying face emoji and is representing the United States is actually representing the people.
Representing.
Thank you, God, I couldn't get it out. Represent Gordon Haywarding the people. Because
Channing representing.
I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out.
I actually love that. Like when I first looked into the story, it took me a little bit before I realized that this was a big family thing, and I don't know why, because I think the headline said it straight away, and I was just like, why is this interesting, right? A senator wants to keep someone, a running for Senate wants to keep somebody who's a good player. Great, I'm sure a bunch of politicians want to do that. But it is pretty funny that it is his father who is running basically the operations at the Celtics and wants to get Gordon Hayward there. And his brother also works for them. So it's just like a little family feud because, let's be honest, Gordon Hayward was a crucial reason as to why between him and Rudy Gobert was basically carrying them forth to compete with most teams until they got devoured by the Golden State Warriors. So Rudy Gobert and Gordon Hayward, I thought would be looking at potential moves in terms of their own career, but I know things don't always just go along with who wants to move and what players want to go and further themselves. Gordon Hayward fits perfectly into that Celtics operation. I think he is an elite scorer when he's on form, and I think that he showed that in a lot of games this year, especially in the playoffs where he didn't shy away. He single-handedly put the Clippers to the sword several times. So
when Gobert got back, yes, yeah, you're not wrong. At least in this regular season, he had his best regular season. And he was, I'm not sure if he made the All-NBA third team, but he was, if he didn't, did he make the All-NBA third team? No, but he was a fringe candidate.
What I meant was when Rudy Gobert was out injured, they relied a lot on Gordon Hayward to score.
And ISO Joe Johnson.
Yeah, of course, Joe Johnson.
Don't forget about ISO
Rolling back the years. So I think it'd be a good fit for him. I think it is all fun in games though to try and see who can keep him here. It plays along with the whole, let's see if we can lock Dwight Howard in a room until we all decide to leave and leave him being the only one there. Who did I say? Dwight Howard?
But
don't lock Dwight Howard.
The difference is when they lock Dwight Howard in a room, no one comes to get him. They're just like,
we're gonna lock Dwight in a room and Dwight stay up for like 24 hours.
But you know,
anyone coming in to save me?
He's sitting there like, oh, they're coming. I know they'll be here soon.
Like, they know they need me. You know they need Superman.
He finds a way to get injured in that room too. I'm sorry. Poor Dwight. God, man, the guy had back spasms. Get back spasms, play basketball.
Never forget that
it's the
day,
worst, man.
Jason walked into the studio, comes up to my desk, whispers, "You know how I used to talk shit on Dwight Howard for back spasms?"
Yeah, man, it's
done.
It's
never again.
I know It's not like a 10 on the pain scale, but it was somewhere in the 7 region.
Just pretty bad. Do you know one of my worst injuries that I ever had, and I've got a plethora. My injury list is a shopping list. I got a locked jaw one time by getting elbowed, and I couldn't move it, and it was so agony, man. It was awful. I just had to get one of the physios. They basically just like try to release the tension and then move it out.
Did you have Canelo Alvarez knock it back the other way?
Had someone else hit it. And then my trainer, I'll never forget, this is the same trainer, by the way, that once looked at my dislocated elbow 2 weeks into preseason, come to America from Scotland.
Snap it back in?
It was snapped in? No, he looked and went, oh shit, I ain't touching that. he was one of the funniest guys, just from Long Beach. He was the man.
That's pretty funny, actually. All right, so lastly, Danny Ainge's quote from himself about the sibling rivalry and has to do, I think, with Tanner, mostly. During an appearance on Boston's 98.5 The Sports Hub, Danny Ainge, who has publicly supported the Suns' political ventures, laughed off the Hayward pursuit could divide the family. He's got 5 kids, a couple little boys, and some days I see them wearing Isaiah Thomas t-shirts, some days I see them wearing Gordon Hayward or Dante Exum jerseys. They're big Jazz fans and they live in that neck of the woods. I get all of that, so he's just being real. Again, if it meant like trading an Isaiah Thomas jersey for a Gordon Hayward jersey, no way. You can't trade the jersey. You might have to hold on to that jersey for at least 15 more years.
Plus, I'm sure the real life Isaiah Thomas jersey fits the kids.
You know what the best like failed troll attempt of Isaiah Thomas was?
What?
Because Mia Khalifa is a Washington Wizards fan, and when they were playing the Celtics, so like she mentioned something like, I feel like Isaiah Thomas couldn't reach my boobs.
Yeah.
And she's like 5'3" and Isaiah Thomas is 5'9", and everybody just went on. It's like, hey, you know.
Yeah, it's
good try.
Yeah.
It's funny. I give her credit. It's pretty funny, but it didn't work out. So comment below, like, favorite, subscribe.